Okay, welcome to a video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter O'Neill. I'm a UK reseller. I buy and sell antiques, collectibles, weird, wonderful, interesting things, and hope to flip them, sell them for a profit. Now, you won't find me on eBay. I'm only on my own website, AntiquesArena.com. And today, the purpose of today's video is to share with you 10 sold items. Now, there's a couple of reasons. I like to think they're both interesting, entertaining, educational. What I'm hoping you achieve, obviously, I want to entertain you with the things I've bought, with the interesting side to them. But it's also, if you're out and about, you're doing charity shops, car boot sales, flea markets, you name it, wherever you are in the world, and you go, well, hang on a minute, he's just sold one of them. I've seen that sold for X amount of money, and you can buy it cheap and flip it yourself. That's the idea. We've all got the same worldwide market, same worldwide audience when we're online. So if I can sell something, you can sell something. So that's the hope anyway for sharing my sold videos, and obviously hoping you find them entertaining and interesting. Now, I don't pick 10 items at random. I am working my way back from the back forwards. This is probably my 7th, 8th, 9th video doing this, and I just pick 10 per video from the back end, working my way forward. So eventually we'll catch up to modern time. As you know, I've had the website now close on 18 months, 2 years. So I've got quite a few hundred sales to catch up on. Anyway, got a really interesting video for you today. Got some absolute corkers that I've sold. So shall we get started and take a look at them? Okay, we're going to start off with this 1903 short bayonet converted to a Commando Elite dagger. I'll read the description out. So, on offer here is a rare 1903 pattern bayonet short. These bayonets were used by the Commando Elite and the SAS. They would convert them into a dagger. There's a YouTube video talking about the history of the dagger, and I'll share that in the description for you. So the 1903 bayonet on his own is rare, having only been produced for 4 years. However, to find one that they've chopped down, converted to a Commando Elite dagger, was even rarer. Total length was 320 mils, and obviously, as you can see there, I only do UK shipping on weapons because they get destroyed. Now, this came in from Splot. Now, he knew he had something good. I paid something like a £90, £100 for this bayonet, and I sold it for 300. So it would have been an original bayonet, probably close on another 4 to 6 inches longer. But as it said in the description, they were filed down and turned into daggers by the SAS and the Commandos. Beautiful thing. There's the little broad arrow there. Anything with that broad arrow on is military. There's the maker's mark going across there. 1903. Anyway, really, really interesting bayonet. If I remember, I will put this link in the description. Anybody who wants to go and watch the video about these daggers is quite interesting. But a very rare bit of militaria there. Come in for about £90, £100, and I didn't have it long. It sold almost straight away, £300. Mine was the only one available on the internet at the time. Next, we had a group of 6 ceramic tiles. Now, these were not that old, but they were all advertising. So each one was advertising a different brand. So you have, obviously, let me see, Jones Sewing Machines, Zebra Great Polish, Pears Soap, Huntley and Palmer's Ginger Nuts, Brasso, Swan Ink, some really good top names. They were all produced by Pilkingtons. Now, Pilkington's famous for the Royal Lancastrian way pottery and the vases that pull hundreds and thousands. Anyway, set of 6 tiles. I had 2 sets of these. One set was boxed, another set was out. So these were not old tiles. And I still achieved £30, which was £5 a tile, which I thought was absolutely fine. They came in at, I think it was like £2 a box. So, yeah, the box set might have been £2 or £3, and this one £1 or £2 for the 6 loose, something like that. Wasn't a lot of money, but people love to put them in the kitchens. Okay, so this was quite a special little bit of porcelain. Now, I had it for quite a while. I bought it down in Beswick, I believe, for about £6, but I had this for close on 2 years. This was a Czechoslovakian Royal Dutch porcelain, and you had a crocodile and a tiger fighting. Absolute amazing quality. Really was spectacular. And if I remember right, it was a good size too. It was a really good lump of porcelain. There's the mark there. So Royal Dutch porcelain crocodile and tiger fighting. It sold for 200. It was 10 inches long and 6 inches tall. I remember it was a big size. No chips, no cracks. That was on the floor in Bessemer, on the concrete. Nobody was even picking it up. £6 they charged me for that, and it sold for 200. Fabulous Czechoslovakian porcelain at its best there, let me tell you. This one, if I remember right, went to a subscriber, went to Anya, so thank you very much. And this is a Beswick Pottery owl with a gold backstamp. Now, what I mean by that is, I'll get to the mark in a moment. The gold backstamp refers to the mark underneath this here. And there's a variety of marks that they use on the underneath, and the gold backstamp's always the best ones to look for. So a nice thing. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it wouldn't have been no more than £5 or £10, and achieved £25 off Anya. So thank you very much for the support. But a really nice Beswick gold stamp owl. Hopefully you made a profit on it. This is nice. As you know, I have tons and tons of sterling silver jewelry. Always buy it. I always dig it out of boxes. Very, very cheap. This would have, I can't remember how much it cost me, but it wouldn't have been more than a fiver. But a lot of the time it's £1 and £2. So I've put it down to 1930s through to 50s, and it's a pendant, and it is formed as Cupid shooting his arrow with some hearts and wings. So the hearts are flying around with wings, and he's aiming at the hearts, shooting them. And then you have a mother of pearl backboard. These little stones here are marquisites, and if I remember right, there was none missing. Very easy to lose one or two of these marquisites, but not impossible to replace. You just buy a lot of cheap costume jewelry with marquisites and rip them apart. But this was sterling silver. Sure, it'll be a photograph somewhere of the mark. There you go. 925 being the standard mark for sterling silver. I say I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. It stuck around for quite a while, but sold for £35, so more than happy with that. That was just a pendant without adding a chain. Okay, next we have some Guinness Toucan money box and vase, so pub memorabilia, if you like. Guinness famous for their Toucan adverts. So you have the money box and the jug or vase. Now, I don't believe these were early ones. There you go, they're unmarked. Now, Carlton may normally do them. I'll just look and see if I had anything else there. Was that damaged there? No, I'm not sure. Looks like a flash. So yeah, they were done originally by Carlton. There you go. It states clearly these are not Carlton examples, however, collectible and decorative. And I achieved £35 for them. Now, had they been Carlton ones, you'd have probably been closer to the 100 plus. That's the difference. But 6.5 inches tall, and a good collectible set of Guinness Toucan memorabilia. This then is the Egyptian Ankh, if that's pronounced right, symbol. It's like a cross, if you like, but it's got a loop at the top instead of a straight. I think it's Anka, you pronounce it Ankh, I'm not 100%. Anyway, it's 30 mil, so a little over an inch in diameter, 10 mil deep. I believe it was fully stamped up silver. Bear with me a second. Let's have a look here. Not sure if that was a silver mark on the top then. Oh, there you go. Silver mark in the center. So there you go. Egyptian silver marks on there. I couldn't read them. There are sites you can use to identify the world hallmarks, but a lot of the time, if it's foreign and it's of low value, I don't bother. Again, silver pillboxes, I don't pay no more than £5 or £10 for them unless there's something spectacular with enamel or something like that. So it wouldn't have cost me no more than £5 or £10, and I achieved £30 for it. This is nice. Now, I photographed this next to a can of Pepsi Max to show you a comparison in size. Now, these come in a variety of sizes. And what they are threaded match holders and strikers. So a lot of the time you'd have a silver rim, and this looks like it would have had a silver rim because it's not finished off on the top, but it's quite rough. So somebody's probably ripped silver off that, quite possibly. Now you have this very thin threaded glass giving a ripple effect down the sides, and that's where you'd strike your match on. But basically, they'd be in the table, they'd hold your matches, and you'd strike them like so. And they normally turn in the century, as I say, they normally come with a sterling silver top. Not a lid, just a band around the top. That one been long lost. Can't remember what I paid for it. Probably stuck around for a while, to be honest with you. But I achieved £35. And again, it wouldn't have been no more than the 10 I would have thought for a standard threaded glass match striker. Now you can get them with memorials, you can get them with, you name it, some beautiful ones. That was a pretty standard one, albeit a big size. That's why the kind of Pepsi was there for size comparison. Okay, moving on, we have a 1920s Ault pottery dimpled bowl. Now this is pure art deco, and it's by the Ault factory. Now, what made Ault famous was Dr. Christopher Dresser. This isn't by Dr. Dresser, but it was the association of Dr. Dresser with the factory that made the factory massive. Ault and Linthorpe. Now, if you look here, this has the Ault Cliff, AULTCLIFF mark. There you go. So hopefully that's a better look at it. Ault Cliff, yep, made in England. And as I've said, where are we? It was in good condition, 1920s. Now, William Ault set up his pottery in Staffordshire in 1887 after he left Bretby at the age of 46. Dr. Christopher Dresser worked for him during the 1890s. In 1923, the firm merged with Ashby Potters Guild and became known as Ault and Tunnicliffe. This is the last one, which is a beautiful vintage Steiff Hamleys Winston teddy bear, number 652837. Now, this bear isn't very old, I would think, 1980s, 1990s. It was a limited edition of 1,500 bears produced, of which this was number 1024, if I remember right. 1024 of 1,500, 1,500, so it's quite a low number. I don't remember if it was Moe, but I presume it was. Now, if you watched my haul videos, in the haul video, I show you what I've bought, tell you what I've paid for it, and what I hope to achieve, things like that. Now, I bought 50, maybe 60 Steiff teddy bears just before the closure of my antique shop, and that was part of that. Now, the prices ranged from 15 to £20 on a small bear to 25, £30 on a large bear. So I'm assuming that one, let's say £20 purchase price, but sold at 85. So there has been some really, really nice little sales in today's video. And some very interesting pieces, including a couple of pieces of history, including that 1903 short bayonet. I will try and remember to put the link into the description for you to go and see that video on YouTube. I can't splice it into the video because it's not my video to do that with. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, I would really appreciate a like, a share, a comment, anything. It all helps my little channel get out there. and I am trying to grow the channel. So thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon.